Hits by the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Coast, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura, out here in Monterey County, also known to the world as the Salad Bowl, also known as the Salinas Valley. To the people in LA, we are north. To the people in San Francisco, we are south. Right smack in the middle, best of both worlds. Don't forget about the Central Cali. Anyway, folks, today we're going to talk about an unfortunate situation that happened to me back in 1998, January of 1998. Trust me, folks, this has a good ending. A funny ending, if you will. The unfortunate part, though, was in October of 97, I had lost my father. So we had a hard time in dealing with that. It was really, I was raising two of my nephews. Shout out to Eddie Vega and his brother Elias. I had them both when they were kids, man. They were small at the time. And you know, we were going through it, and me myself during those months of Halloween, and came Thanksgiving and Christmas. One thing I will say, I don't know if they recall this, but as bad as I was and going through it with still, with losing my father, I still took them out trick-or-treating. We still had a Thanksgiving and we still had a Christmas, and I got them stuff, like football jerseys and jackets and so on and so forth. And at the time, got them some starter jackets. There wasn't no just shabby kind of. It was the real stuff. Those of you who remember the 90s, they were great, right? 90s starter jackets, right? Anyways, so of the team we prefer. So let's not get all into that. I'm not going to get into all that. But anyhow, so I made a special for them, man. I always felt like, they went through a lot at an early age as well by losing their grandfather. So I was like, I made it a mission to try to make it, as best as possible, at least for them anyhow. So come, New Year's too, we, of course we didn't, we all got together, but we just, we had our own little thing. I would take them out to a friend's house, and stuff like that. So we just, we pretty much lived life, trying to live life, even though, when I was by myself, I'd have my moments, or I'd go through what I had to go through, to get it out of my system. But in front of them, I would put put on a different mask, if you will, not being fake, just trying to, be the head of the family, So anyhow, hold on. So let me go back. So I was working this job, and it was great, man. I enjoyed it. The people were great, and it was just a thing that it helped me keep my mind off of stuff, right? And well, I laugh because you'll see what happened. So what happened was, came January, I believe January 98, right? Of course, it came in, and so one day I'm at work, and I think I still had a pager or phone, I don't remember, but I think my mom paged me or something. And she says, Alfredo, hey, habla del teléfono, está bien caro, in other words, call the phone company, call Pacific Bell, the phone, the phone bill's sky high, it's they're charging us a lot. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, well, and God rest my mother saw as well. She's passed on since. But so I'm like, well, I go, hey mom, well, how much is it? She goes, it's $390. I'm like, what the heck? And mind you, back then there was a landline. See, there was, I believe there might have been cell phones at that time already, but they were real. It was real different, you know. The landlines, they were at home, and you know, I mean, stuck to the wall with the cord, you know, and stuff like that, you know. Or no, I think of the cordless or whatever. But anyhow, it was a landline at home, and we still had to pay Pacific Bell at the time, you know. And you got a phone bill, and then the phone bill came, you know, when it came in, it came the amount, but it came with every single call that you made and to who you made it to and where you made it to, right? So I was like, man, you know, okay, well, obviously when my mom called me and told me it was a $390 phone bill, that was a lot of money back then for a phone, you know, for a phone bill. Minus, you know, it was just, we weren't used to paying that. It was maybe like, if anything, and I'll be honest with you, it was maybe like $45, maybe less, maybe 35, 38, something like that. Something like that, if I remember correctly. So I was like, what the heck, man? Like, so I told my mother, I said, you know what, I'll call when I get home, you know. So I think we had whatever day it was, right? I ended up calling the Pacific Bell, right? And the lady, you know, the service, whatever, the service people, right? The lady, she answers and she's talking to me, and I said, hey, listen, I got these calls, but I don't know where they're going to. I said, I didn't make these calls. She goes, no, well, they came out of your house, you know. I'm like, I don't recall making these phone calls, you know. She says, you know what, let me double check for you. So she goes, and you can hear the little computer, you don't hear all this stuff, right? I'm like, all right. So me, I'm waiting kind of like patiently, like, okay, you know, but in my mind, I'm like, look, fool, I know how to make these calls. So I'm not paying this. You know what I mean? That was my attitude at the time in the 90s, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, well, you know, and rightfully so, right? Because I didn't make the phone calls. And she goes, you know what? And she said, you know what, hold on a second, let me double check this again. And I'm like, okay, you know, they made a mistake, man. They, you know, it is what it is. So after a while, she comes back and she says, excuse me, sir, she goes, can I ask you a question, a very personal question? Do you mind if I ask you a personal question? And I thought to myself, that's odd, you know, but I want to get to the bottom of this, so I told her, no, I don't mind at all. Go ahead, ask me what you need to ask me, right? She goes, are you a lonely man? And I'm like, man, this is lady trying to pick up on me. I mean, she sounds kind of cool over the phone, you know, but I don't know what. No, I said, no. I go, what do you mean? Right? Seriously, I go, no, what do you mean? She's all, no, sir, I'm asking, you know, I'm being personal, you know, and I'm sorry about that. She goes, I apologize, but I want to know if you're a lonely, you know, lonely man. And I said, no, I'm not. She goes, you do have a girlfriend, right? I said, you know what? I am dating quite a bit. I was at the time, you know. Never mind. Let's not go there. And I said, yeah, no, I'm not a lonely man. And I do have a, you know, girlfriend or whatnot, you know. And she says, okay, you know what? Because these phone calls are from the Caribbean. The Caribbean? Like, what the heck? You know, and mind you, out here, you know, at least over here in my neck of the woods, it was really, you know, pretty much local. Anything, you know, outside of the town, it was considered long distance. So I was thinking, you know, maybe it was somebody, you know, my mom probably called or left the phone, whatever. So I'm like, Caribbean? I don't know what you're talking about. I said, she goes, sir, these are the 1-800 hotlines. And I'm like, hotlines? Like, oh, you mean, you know, in the 90s they had those call 1-800 whatever, and for a good time, and they had these like beautiful women on there and whatever, these hotline things, right? And I'm like, I said, no, I haven't called no hotlines, man. No, I don't do that, And she says, wow, that's where they're coming from. So we start going back and forth. Finally, she says, you know what, look, we get this a lot. I'm going to help you out. I think they deducted like $200. We still had to pay $200, which was still a lot at the time for that phone bill, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Practically knock off $200. I'll take it. So I did that, and yeah, reluctantly, I paid it, right? So I start looking through the phone bill, like afterwards, I'm like looking through the phone bill, like, okay, wait a minute, what the heck? Yeah, start looking at when these calls were made. So I realized something, right? I said, wait, these phone calls started when the boys went on vacation from school. Both of my nephews. Shout out to you, Eddie, and you too, Elias. Thank you. I said, this started when... I'm going to put you dudes on blast right now, watch. Anyhow, and I said, man, these phone calls started when they went on vacation from school. And they ended around that time. Because, they went like the full, actually, they went until I went on vacation. Right? So I believe they had like a whole week. And then I went on vacation, and that's when they stopped. I was like, wait a minute, these are the dates it was made. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to call one more time just to make sure what the heck this is, because I don't know, because they had the number on there. So I call to check, and then it says, I call and then it picks up, right? And it says, hey, this is Hulk Hogan. Thank you for calling. Make sure you ask your parents about this and that. I'm like, oh, dude. I go, these dudes, man, they were calling all these Macho Man, Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, woo, Hulk Hogan or whoever, at the time. I'm like, oh, it was these kids, man. It was these kids. Needless to say, man, it was just, it was funny to me after, because I was like, wow, this is just it was stupid. The lady thought it was I guess they all fall under one umbrella at the time, the hotlines or whatever. So there was no real way of telling who you were calling. But yeah, it was the wrestlers that these kids were calling. Thanks, guys. You guys owe me some money. No. But anyway, guys, you know what? I thought we'd end this one on a little bit of a more cheerful. I thought it was hilarious. Looking back at it now, I think it's funny. I even thought it was funny then, because usually I was kind of a hard-nosed guy. You know what I mean? Not kind of, I was a hard-nosed guy. But I remember even laughing about it then. And I thought that was just hilarious. And to this day, I think it's funny. And it just helped pass the moment, at least, for what we were going through. But yeah, I could have used those extra $200 that month. But anyhow, that's beside the point, guys. Life goes on, and we learn. We live and learn, and we look back and we laugh sometimes, right? So anyhow, guys, that's it, man. That's it. I hope you guys enjoy your days and weekends and whatever else. Appreciate life, man. Appreciate life. Life is too short. We're here today, gone tomorrow. Appreciate life. With that, this is Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Segura, signing out.